Yesterday was a good day for the crypto market. We made some very important progress. We made some pretty big progress in terms of SHIB because we actually may have just gotten a green light for a SHIB ETF product, which we'll talk about that in this video. But what I'm watching very closely is this zone that is compressing for SHIB, now equating to about a 5% range. And this looks like it's very much prepped to break, and we'll talk about that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So obviously yesterday, the big news of the day was the FOMC meeting. And just to give everybody a little bit of a synopsis of what happened, we got our 25 basis point decrease. Jerome Powell came out and spoke. He had a very hawkish tone, said that, they're not in a hurry to cut rates. They said they're still waiting to see if there's, effects of inflation or effects of tariffs on inflation. And so they're just kind of still slow to do anything. And the market didn't necessarily like that. However, we continued to rally as the day progressed. And you guys can see that once we got into that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock candle, SHIB started to make a little bit more of a push to the upside, which was great. And we closed on a pretty good note. We did get a little bit of red here overnight, a little bit of selling taking place across the space. And right now we're just waiting to see what we have in store today. But I do have to say that SHIB is in actually a pretty good spot right now. And why I'm saying that is we have kind of this compression zone that's taking place right about where we're at, down to the bottom of these moving averages. Now, this is a big deal because what we're seeing is very quick flips in open interest for Shiba Inu. For example, over the last 24 hours, we've seen open interest for SHIB increase by 5.54%. And this is very heavily on the short side. You guys can see we did flip from that long short ratio above a 1.0 back down to a 0.93. So they're kind of flip-flopping right now and basically playing games with this range. So what you're seeing is in this 5% zone here, you have shorts trying to push down from the top of this, and then you have longs trying to push up from the bottom of this. And there's going to come a moment very soon. That was a terrible, terrible arrow. Yeah, they are going to have a point very soon where SHIB may bounce around here, but break one way or the other. And it's a question of which way is it going to break. What are we going to get across the crypto market? Do we have that positive sentiment that allows us to create this extension? One thing I did want to mention here is when we're looking at stochastic RSI on the daily, we have not had this bullish flip take place yet, but it is, it's almost there. It's a 40.26 versus a 40.53. So it's very tight, and we may get a confirmation on this over the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll wait and see what happens here. But I did want to note here as well, on the 1 hour, we've almost gone to a complete reset. So it's looking like this overnight selling might end up seeing just a little bit of a bounce here. And I want to remind everybody as well that SHIB, the last time it had a bullish cross on the daily stochastic RSI, there was actually 2 of them in a very short period of time. One that took place on September 6th here, the other that took place on September 2nd. This kind of kicked off our parabolic move that we had all the way up to 40148. So could SHIB actually be prepping for that potential same move, one that actually takes SHIB maybe out to 40158, 40165. Now, this isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that. And I will say that SHIB's day was pretty modest overall. I mean, if we compare SHIB to the overall crypto market, many assets kind of in that, 4, 3, 5% range. SHIB was up about 3% over the last 24 hours. You guys can see how some other meme coins have performed. Some in the 4 or 5% range for similar size. Some lower caps surging, more like 10%. Not really that surprising because where SHIB is at right now, if we look at our weekly, is actually right on the edge of that 20-week moving average. Okay, we're trying to build some strength to get past here again. And it's taking just a little bit more time, and that's okay. I'm just fine with that. I understand what's going on in the crypto market. We obviously talked about the manipulation in the space. We talk about obviously there needing to be more demand for retail driven assets, and I think that's going to come over time. But what we also just saw was something very big for SHIB and other altcoins yesterday. And this was actually this approval by the SEC. It actually gives generic ETF listing standards, clearing the path for digital assets listings without individual approval. Now, this is a pretty big deal because with these listing standards, Shiba Inu actually qualifies. Now, what this says is crypto assets that have futures contract trading on regulated platforms such as Coinbase are eligible for faster approval within 75 days. Guys, SHIB is one of those assets. SHIB has had futures trading available on some of these regulated platforms for a very, very long period of time. Could that mean we are about to see a SHIB ETF approval in the not so distant future? It's definitely possible. The big thing I will say is, first of all, ETF listings are expensive. You need to have institutional demand. I think we're at this point right now where when it comes to most memes, we're not necessarily seeing the institutional demand yet. It takes, I think it's going to take a little bit more time in the market for SHIB and other memes to get spot ETF listings. I obviously know that Dogecoin, there is a filing for a spot Doge ETF currently. So I think Doge will in fact be the first one to get that. But that does, I think, open up the door for other assets like SHIB and Pepe and many others to get this as time progresses. And if we see SHIB do what is done during times of retail excitement, yet again, where SHIB can be a market leader, where it can perform incredibly well, which I think it will, that's when we have a likelihood of that taking place. All right. Still need retail. You still need excitement surrounding SHIB. The good thing I will say is that SHIB fundamentals still remain strong. We're still seeing, major whale holding. We're still seeing retail conviction. The exact things that you need to see for an upside move are there right now. Again, the biggest thing we're waiting for is just demand. All right. We need meme coins to get hit harder with retail demand. We need retail adoption to take place. The things that we've talked about at a nauseating level are still the stuff that are going to take SHIB and many others to some pretty insane levels. So we're just waiting right now. But I think that SHIB move is going to be coming very soon. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think SHIB is on the verge of breaking out of this 5% range? Are we going to see some downside moves? This weekend, I think, is going to be a big determining factor. Obviously, we reacted very good to this FOMC meeting news, this rate cut that we got. And now we have a very high likelihood of one coming in October as well. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.